So this is going to be the second video in my CHAAC series, again a shotgun series that is primarily shotgun. It's not entirely, because as you'll see I do pick up some weapons off the floor and I do use them here and there, but definitely not for the majority of the time, or the majority of the kills for that matter. As I had mentioned before, I do plan on at least testing out starting the gameplays with a highlight from the game. So that's what this is right here. And in this video I did want to talk about shotguns in general and how I do believe that CHAAC shotgun is now going to be the strongest in the game. And I say going to because at this time the update hasn't, the update or the patch or whatever you want to call it, hasn't happened yet. It is planned, and it's the update that's bringing Seeker in. But we do know that the Arbitrator is getting nerfed. It'll still be strong, but I think that that will nudge CHAAC's shotgun to the best in the game.
Revive me now.
In general, the shotguns in this game can be inconsistent. I think if anything, the Arbitrator in its previous state was the most consistent because of that almost insane damage that it had for body shots and so forth up close. But yeah, I definitely do not think that they are as bad as a lot of people tend to think or say. I think that they're viable. I think on some maps they're definitely, I don't know, you're signing yourself up to hate your life at certain times, but I mean, they're definitely usable and I think they can be fun on certain maps. Coincidentally, I think that this map is actually one of the maps where you can have the most fun and success with a shotgun. If I'm remembering correctly, I do believe that this next update is also supposed to lower the price of shotguns. I'm not entirely sure, I might be wrong on that one. But if so, I think that is, I think that could be a smart move to just get people using them more. But besides that, to just increase their usability, because I know I would for sure be using them more often if the price was a little lower, and the upgrades followed that same trend if the upgrades went down in price as well. That's actually why, one of the reasons why I think that this shotgun, the SLK6 or whatever its name is, CHAAC shotgun, I think that's one of the reasons why it's the strongest in the game, is because without upgrades it's already very strong. I don't think it necessarily needs them. I think that the range upgrade and the magazine size upgrade are worth it, but I tend to stick to those two when I'm playing with them, especially because I like using his equipment and just using equipment in general. Especially with the flashbangs that you can have two, it could be really strong. I'm still figuring out how to use flashbangs myself, but I've definitely seen people have success with them, and occasionally I've had some success too. They definitely are one of the things that they're nice to have, but definitely really annoying to go up against. But I mean, it's in the nature of the equipment, you can't really avoid that.
Utility out.
Besides being a very good shotgun when it's at its base before its upgrades, I think that it also has a decent amount of range, and what I've noticed too is it's not super vital whether or not you are aiming down sight or not, because as you'll see, I definitely do so at times, but like the vast majority of times when I'm hip firing, there's not a massive fall off or disadvantage to not aiming down sight. I think right there, if anything, shows a good example of how the shotguns can be inconsistent in this game. I missed a shot or two, granted, but I mean, I think most people would agree that in that case, I should have got the kill, because I mean, my crosshair, at least the border of it, was close enough on him. But nonetheless, I also understand you can't make it so that just because you have a shotgun, if you're in a close engagement, I guess, so to speak, that just because you have a shotgun you can't win the gunfight every time. So I understand there's also some difficulty balancing it and so forth.
45 seconds and this one's ours.
So if you haven't noticed by now, this is a very quick strikeout match. The 3 rounds, I think someone rage quit going into the 2nd round on their team. So this ends up being a really quick 3-round strikeout match, and if you can't tell, my team was pretty much winning the whole time, in control. That was a funny moment right there that just passed, because it's one of those where it's just like you're not prepared for it, because you'd never think that someone would actually, you know, have the balls to try it, because that was just wild. Run straight into the objective, in one of the objectives where you can just be hit with every projectile and so forth in the game. But yeah,
Lethal out.
Revive me now.
the majority of
Utility out.
the games that I had planned on uploading for this series actually end up going this way, just because I mean, generally, if your team's not doing well and you have a shotgun, you're not going to be winning most often, because I mean, in terms of support, it's not like you could be laying down shots from long range, so they almost always go this way. And I mean, for that matter, you're not going to have very high kill games at all with a shotgun, unless you get lucky,
Go here.
which is a part of, you know, doing well at all times.
Thanks,
but
man. Lethal out.
But yeah, it is something funny that I've noticed is people will compare amount of kills in strikeout, and they'll say, oh, I got 40, I got 50, and they'll post it 60. I've even seen like 70, 80. But then you check it and the game went to its final round. If you compare that to close to 30 for 3 rounds, you know, that's a big difference to being really proud of 40 or high 30s in that amount of rounds. But yeah, that's a whole nother topic. There's the scoreboard.